What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Adobe Live. We are back here again at Adobe. Excuse me, actually, hold on one second, guys. I got so excited, I started playing my own live stream in my ear. That's how excited I am for day number 2. First off, I want to say welcome back with me for day number 2 for the Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe XD. Guys, I want to say thank you for coming and welcome. We have Sam, Fatma, Judy, Christine, we have Fergie, we have the team here for day number 2. I know you guys are super excited about these next 2 weeks because I saw the amazing submissions you have in Discord. So while I'm talking, let's talk about how do we get into or submit challenges for day number 2. If you guys are new, let's talk about it. All right, so if you are new to the Daily Creative Challenge, this is how we join in. Like I said, we're running 2 weeks long, and link in the description, you'll find this beautiful link that takes you to behance.net/challenges/XD. Today, numero dos, we're getting into the loading screen animation project to design and prototype the loading screen animation for a healthy juice brand using Auto-Animate. Very simply, come to this page, ladies and gentlemen, download the starter file by clicking get started, and join along with me into getting what we're gonna get into today. I'm very excited about what we have today. It's very complex, but we're gonna break it down simplistically and show you how to do that. But before we get started, if you don't want to go out, you do not want to do this alone, ladies and gentlemen. It's better with the community. Join us in our Discord and drop your submissions for today's challenge in our challenge section right here. We can see all of the challenge submissions from yesterday's challenge, and we have some beautiful watches in here. I have a favorite, but I'm not going to get into that just yet. We'll leave that to the last 3 minutes of our stream today. Excitement. All right, but let's get into what we have for today. We have, I'm gonna show you guys a little sneak peek of what you're gonna be able to do today after what we learn. Okay, so we have an amazing, by the way, this is inspired very beautifully by Tubic. Check them out on Dribbble. Their link will be in their starter file for you. And your starter file, when you open it, you'll have this beautiful piece over here. I hyped you up a little bit today. I gave you a lot more in your starter file, but some of you guys might be thinking, what is the outcome we're gonna have today when we do this? We're gonna have a nice little loading animation. We got some juice, 100% juice. That's very important. And this other stuff, it's a little cherry on top. We may or may not get to it, but I gave you guys a lot in the starter file to begin with. All right, so let's begin with just the animation, floating to the top, getting to 100%, and showing us the actual orange. How do we do that? Let's dive. Okay, so with this starter file, I actually gracefully gave you pretty much everything that you need to have in here. If we take a look at this, we have this bottle right here, and I have put together this is actually a mask. So what you'll find in here is you'll find this Union 5, which is basically the masked bottle, and group 7 and group 6 are actually these waves right here. So I've done them for you. If you want to know how to make them, I'll show you very quickly how to do these things. So if you ever are left alone to your own devices to make these waves, all you're gonna have to do is create a rectangle. I'm just gonna steal the color with this, and I'm just gonna pick some sections here to create our wave. Rosie says, that is slick. We only do slick Rick things here. That's what our Daily Creative Challenge is for, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, when Brandon does the Daily Creative Challenge, we all get treats. We all get chocolate, unless you're lactose intolerant. In that case, we'll find alternatives. All right, so I have my points here. And I'm just going to make little divots here. I'm gonna make sure all of my points that I pull down have the same height. There we go. And here's the magic trick part. All I have to do is just double click these points and they become little mountains or little waves. Now all I have to do is just maneuver these things. John says soy chocolate, exactly. So it's pretty simple. All I did was I made points I brought 3 of them down. I double clicked them. They curved out. It's an easy day. And that doesn't take much time, and that took me about 3 seconds. Now, for those of you who are probably like, Brandon, you have a super long wave. How do you do that? That's even easier. You just make your rectangle longer and you do the same thing. All right, but let's get into the how do we get started with this? So I'm gonna actually unpack this a little bit. I'm gonna just start with these bottles because I want to keep the concept very simple. For this bottle, and I'm just gonna create another artboard so we can see everything. All right, so I have my bottle right here. You'll see that this is a merged group. This is actually made out of a whole bunch of other pieces that I traced because I was too lazy to do it in one go. But I did it for you to save us time, and what we're gonna focus on is how to just get our wave animation inside of this bottle. So essentially what I did was I took this item here, I duplicated it, I copy pasted it, so I have 2. And I took my waves. We'll go ahead and grab this for an example. I'm gonna make this artboard just a little bit larger. So I took my bottle and I basically said, all right, I want this wave inside of this bottle. So I just click both, click one, click the other, right click, and I'm going to do mask as shape. Ta-da! All right, now we have our wave inside our bottle, and I can just very simply overlay it on top of my previous bottle. Obviously line it up. There we go. And now our wave is inside the bottle. So that's pretty simple. This is basically just the concept. Yes, Kara, that's working smarter, not harder. Props to you. That's what we do here, guys. I'm always trying to cut the, create shortcuts. It's all about working smarter, not harder, because we get paid for results. All right. So what I did is I made 2 things here. Some of you guys are probably like, why? And what we want to think about when we do this is that if we take a look at this animation again, right? We have 2. We have one that goes up. When it gets to 100%, then there's another one. So let's take a look at this. What we're going to do first, and I'm just going to cheat here, guys. Don't yell at me. I'm going to use, this is the one that I demonstrated with, right? But I'm going to go ahead and use just the ones that I have already to explain how I animate this with you. All right, so I'm going to take my overlay, and inside, remember, I have my mask, and I have 2 of my waveforms. I want to start with them both at the bottom, and I want them to start all the way on the left here. Because how we want this to start, and by the way, we will get back to the prototype, but I just want to show you this specifically. Because literally this is the entire, once you have this little element, you just drag and drop it wherever you need it. And it's beautiful. All right, so we're gonna take this and we are actually gonna bring this on its own artboard so we can just focus on it. I'm gonna make sure these line up. All right, and on first, so this is where we start. We're just gonna name this start. We're gonna name this end. So I want my animation to start here, right, all the way over here, and I want it to end with this entire thing up. I want the bottle filled up, but I want the wave to basically be finished. I'm gonna pull it all the way to the left. This is a lot easier than it probably looked. Cornell says fancy starter. That's all you get with me, especially my tie. We don't do any less. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go to prototype. We're gonna pull this over to our end state. We're gonna make sure that we have a timed trigger. We're gonna do a 2 second. just so I can at least see it happening and it doesn't start running immediately. So we're going to make sure our type is on Auto-Animate. We're going to do snap because that's all we do. We do snappy things. And we're going to make sure our animation is about 2.3 seconds. Probably 2.5. We don't need to be that picky. And so let's take a look. So this should be pretty simple. I said pretty simple and it didn't move. Okay. Let's check out what we've got. Pretty sure, I guarantee you this is the problem. Watch, guys. Let me see. Actually, it is not the problem that I assumed. Because usually when this happens, ladies and gentlemen, it is a layer mishap. But my layers do look to be named the same thing. We have, this is group 218. This is group 218, that is correct. There's 219 down there. I wonder why I just, oh, you know what? I have it on 2-second delay. My patience was not there. There you go, it's just my patience. Okay, that's the only thing that's broken. Now let's take a look at this again. So you guys probably saw that pull into the side. That's just because of the animation type that we chose. Let's take a look at that. So how we fix that is really simple. We're just actually gonna make this end a little bit just over here so that even though it has that nice snap animation, it's not gonna pull all the way in. And we are also going to, we're gonna start this all the way at the bottom here. And maybe we start it at a 0 opacity. That way it kind of goes from 0 to 100%. Just like that. So it looks nice and smooth. 2 seconds does feel like a long time. I felt like I was sitting there for an eternity, Mitchell. That was definitely pretty long. So, by the way, if you guys are enjoying what we're doing, do not forget to hit that like button, whether you're on YouTube or Behance. It helps tremendously and shows that you guys are digging what we're doing. Alright, but let's slow this animation down a little bit. We're going to go to boop, boop, boop. We're gonna do about like 5 seconds here. Okay, I lied. Let's do 4. There we go. We got a nice little bubbly to the ceiling, to the roof of our nice bottle. Easy day. So now let's talk about our numbers. If you guys remember, we have, as the wave is going up, we have our numbers going up as well, and we have that nice 100% that we have to deal with too. So let us do that. So all we're gonna do is I'm going to cheat here. I'll let you guys know what the fonts are because I prepared for this. I'm just gonna grab my nice little 2 O's. This is fair, play fair, display. I'm just gonna bring this to the center. I said the center, that totally wasn't the center. All right, and what I'm gonna do actually, I'm using this for placeholder. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to take this all the way. I'm just gonna do 0 all the way to 9. Obviously, I didn't achieve good math class. I was like 1, 3, 4, 9, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. And all I'm gonna do with this is, let me put that back. Fergie says, I suddenly fancy a glass of juice. Well, we all should. That means we're doing our job here. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this 0 here. And I do need to make sure, I'm going to kind of group this real quick. I'm going to delete that 0. Because I'm only going to keep one of them. I'm going to place that on top. Alright, so this is what I have. I have 1 0 on this side, and I have my 0 through 9 on the other. to make that sort of loading animation, this is pretty simple. I'm just going to draw a nice little box. I'm going to, by the way, I grouped these, ladies and gentlemen. I totally didn't say that. But I'm going to pull this right over top, select them both, right click, mask with shape. Rosie, I'm glad this is your first time in the live stream. There's many more to come. Definitely join the rest of the 2 weeks. We'll be happy to have you. All right, so I'm taking my masked piece here. So if you get, let me just demonstrate this. So we have this in here, and I can very simply select the left side and move this up and down. So that's how we have that nice little loading animation. And I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna actually name it like a good designer. Probably the only layer I'm gonna name this time. And I'm just gonna pull this somewhere. All right, now remember, all we have to do is do a before and after. So this is where we're starting. We're starting at 0, 0. And we're gonna also paste it to our end state. This can go away. And so we want it to start here, and over here, we're gonna pull this all the way to 90. Or this side, we're gonna pull all the way to 9. There we go. And we're gonna kind of cheat on the next piece. We're going to take this. Actually, I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna steal this again. And I know we're running close on time, guys. We are at 18 minutes. But look, you guys can rewatch this. I actually have the full version of how I made this on my Behance channel, so definitely check that out from full end to end if you're interested in seeing how this is made. So we have that, and you have the Daily Creative Challenge, so definitely check that out. Always come back. So we can't fit the 100 in there, so I'm going to just artificially make it. Once we hit to 90, I'm gonna have this 100 right underneath. And before I actually turn it to 0, or turn the opacity to 0, I'm gonna copy it over to our third artboard here. And everything will make sense in a second. So I'm gonna pull this up right about where this should be. Right around there. Okay. So we are going to turn this to 0, and I'll explain exactly why I'm doing that in just a second. Actually, you know what? All right, man. Here we go. I'm gonna just turn the 90 down, that loading animation, to 0. All right, back to prototyping, and I can explain. So we have this good to go. Let's take a look at what we have. All right, that is not. We have this. 2 seconds, boom, all the way up from 0 to 90. Now we're gonna have that second piece. So let's take a look at this. So we have end 1. We're gonna take it to end 2. We're just gonna take this and pull it over to end 1. Now what's gonna happen, basically what we've built, is 90 is gonna disappear, and that 100 that's invisible here is just gonna pop up. And let's just check our settings here. We have Auto-Animate, we have Snap. We're gonna actually remove the delay. We don't want a delay, we want it to instantly happen. Or we don't want it to delay, we want it to instantly happen. So now we have 0, 90. That was a little slow. It's because we have the 4 seconds. So we'll drop it to about 1. And ladies and gentlemen, now is the time. If you, okay, what happened there? That was, all right, we're gonna keep this to 4 seconds. That was too much juice. We're not that thirsty. We're gonna have the transition between end and end 1 to 1 second. And we'll do 1.5. There we go, boom, 90, it snaps into place, 100 comes in. All right, so now that next part is how do we do the, and I know you guys are like, well, how do we actually transition this into, I know we started here, ladies and gentlemen, but because of now that I'm realizing how I had to segment this to kind of break down this, you can go back and just pull everything back into your initial starter file here. Obviously, you'll have to duplicate this a couple times. Right now we have 3 artboards here. You'll have to have 3 artboards here as well. Just for example, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 artboards just to get that animation of going up 100% and then the orange juice. Okay. All right, we are almost at time. Let's finish up this orange juice animation. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We're gonna do the reverse now. So we're gonna take this. We're going to push the 100. We're gonna make it go back down. We're gonna turn the opacity 0. We are then going to pull, this is our second piece that we had in our mask. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pull this up all the way to the left. And we're gonna just do like a really quick transition. We're gonna pull this up here and all the way to the left and up. Let me pull that all the way up. There you go. Now, one thing I will say is I need to go over here and fix this. This piece, remember we have to think about this before and after. This piece needs to be all the way over here so that it starts there, and then when it comes to here, it goes from all the way to the left, up, and to the right. All right, let's see. So let's make sure we do this. And then after this, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, feel free to come back to this. All right, we have the 90. We have the 100. All right, that was, it didn't, it got a little too happy. Let's try to reverse engineer this really quick with the time that we have. We have 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can fix this, and then we're gonna jump into Discord. All right, so we have group 219. This is 219, it's up there and all the way to the right. Oh, you know what I need to do? Auto-Animate snap, there's no delay. Let's do 2 seconds delay. Let's see what we have here. That is pretty funky. 218. 218 is at the bottom. Got to do some quick thinking here, guys. All right, 218 is also at the bottom. I'm not gonna lie, I do not know, and this is probably where the finagling has to kind of get into, ladies and gentlemen, where you have to figure out, because XD is all about before and after. So if we were to, let's just see what happens if we do this. And I promise, I have one design that I want to take a look at in the Discord. Let's do it too quick. Delay, 3 seconds. I just want to get this one last thing for you guys, and then we can hop into Discord. All right, that looked a little bit better. There we go. So that there's the only problem we have, and I know what it is now, is this space. So I'm going to bring this up here. There you go. I'm going to put them together. We don't want that space to show up. There we go. All right, cool. So we got it. This is our loading animation, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, bubble up, 100%. There we go. There we go. And obviously you would pull that all the way out. All right, so that is what we have for today for the loading animation. You would just take that, apply it to whatever website you have. Now, let's quickly dive into our submissions from yesterday because we have about 1 to 2 minutes here. There was beautiful, I counted about 9, but I have to say, excellent job, everybody. My favorite that we have to look at before we go was this Mercedes one. It's absolutely beautiful for our first challenge of the week. They not only did vertical scrolling, they also did horizontal scrolling, which was like, oh my goodness, yes, send me the bill. So excellent job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming towards the end. We have 1 minute here. I want to say thank you so much for joining. We're going to end off on this beautiful Discord piece that we have here. And we're going to be back same time, same place tomorrow. So definitely add your submissions to Discord as well as using this beautiful tag in your design work, XD Creative Challenge. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place for day number 3. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.